your guys' thoughts on kind of them two, kind of comparing the two prospects in Clark and Jenkins?
Well, just from what I understand and the video I've watched and everything you hear, just to make it really simple, I think Walker Jenkins is a guy who might hit 35 home runs. Max Clark is going to be a more varied game and hit 20 home runs. You know what I mean? It could be as simple as that. And it sounds like Max Clark is more of a sure thing to stay in center field, but it's just a matter of what you're looking for, the big power batter, the more versatile player.
Yeah, it's a really fascinating dichotomy there between those two players, because you do have with Jenkins, you have like the prototypical, he's 6'3", 205, 210 or whatever, probably going to get bigger and stronger, could grow into an ideal right fielder. But right now he's apparently fast enough and athletic enough to handle center field. And you never know. Sometimes guys like that move very quickly and stay in center field. Look at Riley Green. I think not many of us expected that. We saw him making diving catches in West Michigan. We're like, okay, that's fun. It's not going to continue. And then they're like, all right, it's going to continue. Now, I don't know, long term, I don't think Riley Green is your answer in center field, just because you got to hope at some point they're going to find some guy who's like a 70 runner with 70 defense who can also hit. Maybe not. But yeah, so like, and this is kind of where you fall back on those comps. You just like, he's kind of this kind of player. Baseball America kept comparing Walker Jenkins to Austin Meadows, which would be pretty good. The healthy Austin Meadows.
Tampa, Austin Meadows, yeah.
Yeah. But since they've been making that comparison, all the scouting reports this year were that he's actually more athletic and faster. So a more athletic, faster Austin Meadows sounds pretty good. The Max Clark comparisons you run the gamut. You can hear, people say, hey, maybe he's the next Corbin Carroll, who the Tigers just got plenty of the other day or the other series. But he could also be a Pete Crow Armstrong type, who could hit. He's going to run. He's going to play plus defense and center, but he might not be much of an impact bat.
Right.
Or he could be a Mickey Moniak type, who was the first overall pick and then just never did a whole lot. He's finally made it to the big leagues, but he's kind of hanging on.
Fringy.
Yeah. And a lot of that has to do with Max Clark's just physical projection. He's basically as big as he's going to get and as strong as he's going to get. Now they're that they probably said the same thing about Jared Kelenic, and he took that to heart. And it sounds like Clark is kind of that type of player who's very like, I'm going to prove you guys wrong. I'm going to do this. All the rumors are that he really wants to be the first overall pick, and he's willing to take a huge haircut to do that. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be one that's going to be fun to look back on in 4 or 5 years and be like, well, we blew that, or wow, we were right. But yeah, right now I tend to lean more towards the guys who have the physical projection, but it's like razor thin. If they took Max Clark, I wouldn't be upset.